So as we begin, 2 members of the Boys Brigade and Girls Association are going to read a conversation between 2 World War I soldiers. It's a conversation that reflects on their experience of war, and it's based on real life stories and lives. So thank you, Amalia and Luke. Do you want to come this way?
Yeah, sure.
Who's first? Big, loud voice. Big.
Hello, my name is Ronald Merchant. I'm the youngest in my family,
Bit louder.
having 4 older brothers, and I live in the village of Weald in Kent.
Hello, my name is World Young, and I used to work in London for the post office as a sort arm.
Loud.
I signed up to join the war when I was only 19 years old, but I knew that I wanted to serve my country.
I certainly didn't want to join the war as I'm totally opposite to violence, but in the end I signed up in 1915, joining the London Regiment.
My family are all Christians, and so I know that they would be praying for me when I left home to serve my country.
My church gave me a New Testament when I went off to war, which I really treasured.
They made me a stretcher bearer with the Royal Army Medical Corps, and I spent 5 years at the front bringing back the wounded from no man's land. We used to go out each night looking for those men who were wounded and who needed our help, but as soon as sunrise came, the order was always given not to go out anymore or we might get shot.
I found at the Somme, Yerps and Passchendaele. I was then captured by the Germans and put to work as a prisoner of war in prison coal mine.
I saw some terrible things that no young man of 19 should ever see.
Bit louder.
The men screaming in agony as they were injured, men crying like babies in fear, hundreds of young men lying still on the field, men my age with their whole lives in front of them dead.
Being a prisoner of a war was the most miserable time of my life. True. Life in the dirtiest and most dangerous trenches was worse while it lasted, but there was always the relief to look forward to if one survived. But life at this mine seemed one long round of almost unbroken misery, hardly anything to reveal it.
One morning, I remember well, we had just come back from the field, having been out there all night, when the chaplain said to me, "There are still 2 men out there, I'll go if you will." I really didn't want to go because we all knew that we could be shot by a sniper, but I knew it was the right thing to do, so off we went. As I walked by the chaplain, back onto the field, I said goodbye to my mother in my heart. By a miracle, we found the 2 men and we brought them back on our shoulders, still alive. I thank God for that day.
One day while I was in the camp, I felt the Lord saying to me that my fellow prisoners of war were sheep without a shepherd. And so I asked German officer for permission to hold a service. Amazingly, it was granted, and so I held a series of services using my New Little Testament in the oblations room where the men washed on leaving the mine.
Amazingly, I was awarded the military medal for bravery and was commended as a most reliable NCO of a good leader of men who showed bravery in the field.
I missed my family terribly and longed to return home again. We had so little food to eat in the prison of war camp, and I was always cold. I will never forget what happened.
I still have nightmares about the terrible things I saw. I'll never forget what happened.
Thank you, guys.